Ephrata had a chance to inch closer to the postseason playoff race. Prosser had another thing in mind when the Mustangs took to the gridiron at Kiwanis Field Friday. Here's Sean Wells with the story.
Both teams were 5-1 in conference play and needing a win to stay right behind undefeated Ellensburg. It was Prosser who struck first. All-State receiver Cordell Jones caught the touchdown pass. Then Jones and Mustang QB Kason Blair hooked up again, this time for 45 yards, putting Prosser up 12-0. The Mustangs would go on to take a 19-0 lead, then Ephrata came storming back. Lloyd Burleson had a 55-yard QB keeper for a touchdown. Then Andrew Clark broke an 82-yard run to make it a one-possession game. But the Tiger comeback was just short as Prosser held on to win 19-14. The Tigers will look to get a win next week at Ellensburg. For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
Moses Lake was looking to pick up a road win to keep pace with 4-0 Wenatchee in the Big Nine standings. It wasn't in the cards, however. Weather, officials, and a determined Panther team factored in the 20-3 decision. I was on hand for the action, and man, was it a wet one at Lee Bofto Stadium.
It was a miserable night as rain drenched the field and everyone in attendance at the Apple Bowl. Wenatchee went up 7-0 midway through the first quarter. Moses Lake answered back with a Ren Riley field goal to narrow the gap to 7-3. Sloppy playing conditions created turnovers by both teams, and the score held up through intermission. The third quarter was a rough one for the officials and the Moses Lake coaching staff, as both made critical mistakes that gave the Panthers a big lift. Chase Reish busted off an 85-yard TD run that was waved off on a block in the back penalty. After a lengthy conversation in the rain, the flag was picked up and the touchdown was put on the board. The call drew an unsportsmanlike penalty on the Chiefs' sideline. A roughing the kicker call on the PAT followed, and the Panthers kicked off from the Moses Lake 30. The Chiefs were unable to regain their composure after the strange twist of events and dropped the game by 17 points. Reese led the Panther attack with 203 rushing yards on 23 carries and a score.
The loss drops Moses Lake into a tie with Davis for the second place and the final playoff spot out of the Big Nine. The two teams go at it on Lions Field Friday. The winner gains the upper hand with one game left in the regular season. Quincy pulled off a huge 35-6 road win over the number 9 ranked Huskies in Othello. It was the fourth win in a row for the Jacks. The teams combined for 272 rushing yards in the contest, but didn't complete a pass. Othello led 6-0 early. A string of 35 unanswered points foiled postseason plans for the Huskies. Ephrata girls soccer had a chance to wrap up the CWAC League title at Ellensburg Saturday. The number 2 ranked Tigers were on a 15-game win streak heading into the showdown with the Bulldogs. Ellensburg grabbed a 1-goal lead and held on to win it 1-0. The loss drops Ephrata into a 3-way tie with Ellensburg and East Valley as they all finished the regular season at 8-1. By virtue of a preseason tiebreaker draw, Eberg is the number 1 seed to the district tournament. Ephrata is the number 2 seed and East Valley number 3. The Tigers get a first-round bye. The team will host the winner of the East Valley Othello game November the 1st. We'll be right back after this.